serve a population of over 700,000. And the registered voter currently is 155,000. And for the 5 years, in line with my manifesto, or the manifesto for Kasarani constituency, there are a few things maybe we have done and complete, others complete, and maybe I'll start with the docket of Member of Parliament entitles education, security, and of course, the general oversight and representation of my members of the constituency. And I will start with education, whereby we have managed to done with the schools, starting from early primary, we were able to renovate classes and do furniture, Dramville secondary, we were able to do ablution, Dramville primary, we were able to do 2 classes, and George's, we were able to do 2 classes. And then we started a new school called Njiru School, special school, and we were able to start the school, and now it has 4 classes, and we have done the perimeter fence. And then Highway Manyata, we were able to start in projection a 4-story building, but we have only managed to do the ground floor. But for the high school, the project is starting still 4 classes with projection of being story building. And then we started another school called Gakuya Secondary, whereby we did a block of 8 classrooms, an ablution block, and then we did the Gakuya, the same compound, we did 1 class, because we may not have managed to do 2 projects within the same compound, both for secondary and for primary. And then we have our mega complex at Roy Primary, whereby we were able to do 24 classrooms, and with a complex, whereby it has the admin and it has 3 blocks of ablution. And also the same compound, we have managed to do a multi-purpose hall to serve both the Roy girls and Roy Primary, and then we have done the perimeter wall. You move from now right in terms of education, you go to Njiru Primary, we added 3 classes, and then there is Njiru Secondary, which we were not able to start at the right time because there is no way, not considering the health hazard, we would have been allowed by the ministry to start. But so far we have managed to do an ablution block, but in terms of some logistics regarding the building which has been existing, which does not actually, the whole of it does not cover, it is not built at the Njiru secondary land. So we were not allowed by the ministry, by the NGCDF, to put another building on top of it. And quite unfortunate, the land only have maximum maybe less than about 1/4 acre for future protection, whereby you can put a story building. And then you move to the Hamata area, we are able to do perimeter fence, the area which was not complete, that is the primary, and currently there is an admin block at the Hamata secondary. Then you move to Weki, we started a new school called St. Dominic Secondary, whereby we did 4 classes. And when I mention 4 classes, means story buildings in future, the land in Nairobi is not increasing. The land in Nairobi, in any case, it can only reduce. So we have not done buildings in a way that they are not going to have to be considered for addition at the top. And then we renovated some toilets at St. Dominic Primary, and then we were able to get 2 buses, one to serve, I happen to serve 2 districts, Njiru district and Kasarani district, whereby you find teachers and pupils and students were actually getting it rough, especially during the exam and some meetings, team buildings, and even the ministry itself through the DEO. At least the schools at the Njiru district, they can be served by the Roy Girls School Bus. And the school at the Kasarani side can be served by St. Dominic. As they wind up in terms of education, we were able to start 2 new schools, the primary, that is Mweki's primary and Sheko primary. And then we were able to do a ramp, that is for Mweki secondary and Kilesi secondary. And then some renovation of 6 classes at Kasarani primary. And we have managed to do perimeter wall for 3 schools, that is Rai Girls, covering Rai primary, and then Kasarani primary and Borima primary. In terms of security, now that we really majored on the side of education, we have managed to renovate. Those are the first projects, that is Mweki police station, but we have managed to do a perimeter wall at Kasarani police station. And in future, I project that as the document entails, those projects we have managed to do, they can be done in the schools which have not really benefited with the big project. And also Moshiri were able to add another class. In terms of my manifesto, as I have said, one, representation is important. So I have always ensured that even if I'm focusing on education and security, what is important is infrastructural development to do with roads. And roads, when you get to the government, you find there is a lot of bureaucracy. But bureaucracy, if you really follow it up, you'll find there are so many agencies. We can start with Kenya Highway Authority, we have Kura, Kenya Urban Roads Authority, and Kera, and Kenya Roads Board. But we have managed to get tarmacs starting all the way from Gomba, and then a feeder road which is touching the main tarmac, that is Kasarani Mweki Road, and Njiru, that is Gakuya Road, which is covering Njiru and Rai. We have managed to do some, not all, feeder roads. And we always say Kasarani is not a young city. Kasarani has been represented since 1963. But God's time is the best. We managed to do Gomba Estate, and then we repaired, or we were able to do the routine maintenance for Kise, and then we did Kohurakanwa, then we did Power Star, we did Equity Seasons, all the way almost to St. Gertrude's, and then we were not able to put tarmac for DO in place. Maternity has already been considered, Kwamafuta has already been done, and then there is a project we got via informal settlement, which was allocated of about 198 kilometers, but we have not managed. Since the contractor who has been undertaking the work is the China Road and Bridge Construction, and when he was doing it, with the government started a mega project, which is Eastern Bypass, and there is no way he would have continued to be at the site. And one of the big stretch is which we did. It is at Majimazuri and then Garage. And that road has been able to make sure that Kasarani is not landlocked. Because you couldn't have, if you would have gotten to Kasarani Mweki Road, there is no way until you get to Thika Road, you would not have gone to Gibrai or to Lagisama or to Outer Ring. But now you can be able to go all the way from Ketomba, Shiko, and then Hunters, Garage, Hunters, Mount Lavena, that is St. Francis, and it has 2 big bridges, so we can connect to the Gibrai 45. And all these roads have been done. Ada, Kura. And Katasi, I serve, and Parliament I've been serving, or I serve as the Vice Chair Transport, and a member of budget. So we always make sure, at least when we say the road is going to be done, or if you want a road to be done, you must make sure that you have put money to it. So we were able to do Weki, there is a road called SK Weki, we have not done Kwawaroi, Kwamagoro, Deliverance, part of it is done, then we have Jerry, part of it is done, then of course Kavarek had already was done by the county, but through the informal settlement, majority of the roads were done all the way from Budalangi and coming upwards in most of the streets, but the first streets were not able to be done because it's under the big contract or by the China Road and Bridge Construction, which they are remaining to do Kasarani Mweki Road and Kasarani constituency 98 kilometers. And we hope that those kilometers will go will be able to assist most of the areas. Then in Njiru, from Weki, Njiru at Kaole Junction, at least that area benefited with some cabras, but we were not able to get to the Saika site, and all the way at the 18 from the Moyam site, Maisaba, Bosnia, and Shiraga. There is a stretch which comes all the way back to Saika and Mwengenye, and then Omega Obama Slaughter. That road is part of the 19 kilometers. As you move together with Budalangi, Mogai, then Mogai to Budalangi, and then Choka, all down to Kichijio, the one which is at Hallingdon. But we managed the Shuja side and Mawebili. But there were roads which were prepared and were not, they were left almost at the 95% completion. That is Highway Manyata, that side of Acacia. But that's notwithstanding, there is an ongoing road which is supposed to ease the jam. That is from Gakuya Road. If you go to Ruai, there is always jam. But there's a road which is under construction right now at Highway or at Acacia, which has connected to the sewage. It's supposed to move from Gitwamba Primary. It goes to St. Joseph, St. Charles Ranga, up to Akere, all the way to the bypass. My intention has always been any road which is touching the main road, that is Gakuya Road and Kasarani Weki Road, to be covered. And all the way from the downside from Joska, you come to the Pefa Church there. There is the road called Reflector, all the way to Vina, Kingoris, Saheli, Adrink, that is Adrink, stage 26, Makongeni, Acacia. Those roads, they are usually about 2 kilometers to the interior. And one thing, there is no way the Kenya Urban Roads Authority, when they took over, would have been able to be engaged